you stop that noise? I'm trying to get some rest. From all those unborn chicken voices in my head. What's that? What's that? When I am king, you will be fast upon the wall. With your opinion, which is of no consequence at all. What's that? What's Ambition makes you look pretty ugly, kicking, squealing, Gucci little piggy. What you remember, why don't you remember? Off with his head, man, off with his head, man. Rain down on me, rain from a crane, from a crane. That's it, sir, you're leaving the crackling of pigskin, the dust and the screaming, the yuppies networking, the panic, the vomit, the panic, the vomit. God loves his children, God loves his children. Oh, I made it through. This is one of the hardest tunes I've ever tried to play and sing at the same time. It is, of course, Paranoid Android by Radiohead. What a tune. There are so many things to check out in this. I guess the biggest thing that I want to mention before we get going is trying to keep this hand, the strumming hand, moving consistently and not getting too bogged down in the notes that you got to pick out is probably one of the tricks. Now, I'm going to show you as close as I can to what I think Tom was playing when the way he was picking it out. And I had a go at trying to get it as close as I could. But in the moment, especially if you're playing it and singing it, you can't be really worrying about exactly what notes are being picked out. And if you watch Tom playing it, he does do it pretty accurately. I suspect he's practiced it and got it down, and it's his tune. So he will obviously do it easier than I would try and copy his way of playing it. But yeah, I'll give you a fair amount of detail, but don't get too bogged down in it. Remember, it's got to be a musical thing, and that feeling and trying to get into the groove of it is going to be a little bit more important than exactly what note you pick at any given moment. So with that said, let's get started. Let's start off with this. So, beginning, 2nd finger, 8th fret, thicker string, 3rd and 4th fingers in the 8th fret on the 2nd and 3rd strings. Okay, I'm letting the D ring out sometimes there, but it's not one that you hear too much. Now, the key thing here is the way that the pick in hand is working. So it's going bass, bass, up, bass, up, bass, up. So it's playing the thicker string with a down on beat 1, 2, and it's playing the 2nd string, 3, and is playing the 3rd string, 4, and it's playing the open 5th string, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. Okay, I suspect it's just a transition getting to the 1st finger here. Makes for a nice kind of sound. Leading in, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Okay, now again, with 1st finger is now at the 6th fret, 3rd and 4th fingers are staying where they were. We play thicker string with the down, all of the beat is going to be played with a down pick on the thicker string each time. So 1, and this is an open D string now. So 1, and 2, and. This and after 2 is strings 2 and 3 with an up pick. Bass note again, just string 3, and then the open 5th string again. So those 2 bars together, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. So it's this consistency and trying to do it really slowly and get it right that's going to enable you to play it mostly correct. I would recommend studying this, really trying to get it down, but then remember that in the moment, it doesn't really matter if you pick a same string twice or you miss an open string, whatever, it doesn't matter. Keeping the beat, keeping in time and trying to keep it musical and expressive is going to be more important than the notes. But practice the notes first in order to get to the point where you can express yourself through it. It is going to take you some practice. At least took me quite a lot of practice to be able to get to this point. The 3rd bar now. Okay, so now 2nd finger has moved to the 8th fret of the 5th string. So this is going to be the pedal that's played on every beat. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. Okay, so 5th string again, 2nd string, 5th string, 3rd string. Those are upstrokes, obviously. So down, down, up, down, up, down, up. And then we've got a down, up on the 8th fret. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. Then we've got 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. And then we've got this little gliss. So open A, 1, and 2, and is the 3rd and 4th fingers, 8th fret, same position. 1st finger goes back in the 6th fret for the 3, and 4, and there's like you kind of hear the D string. It's just he's glissing down to this next part of the riff, but he's continuing strumming. So it's that continuous. So it's really hard to try and write that down. It's just noises in between transitions, and it doesn't have to be exact, right? So let's do that first 4 bars now, nice and slow. So from the beginning, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Okay, I would practice just that 4 bars for a good amount of time and make sure you get it down first of all before you make any further progress, because the rest of it is kind of similar. And again, it's the importance of this, because when I play it for real, it's this feeling of the strum and hand moving continuously and not worrying too much about what's played that is the thing that will enable you to play the tune, right? Okay, the next section. So basically it's the same shape now moved down to the 3rd fret. So 2nd fingers in the 3rd fret, so is 3rd and 4th fingers. Here we can get an open D here, it sounds really nice. So, okay, same idea as before. Except on the very first is a strum, so 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. All 1 on the down strum, 2, and 3, and 4, and. That's the 2nd string, 3rd string, 3rd string. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Open A string 3 times, and then the upstroke. Going for targeting the 2nd string and up. So you probably get a little bit of the open D string in there as well. Doesn't really matter. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. I must admit, I very rarely play it like da 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 da. It's and just kind of leaving it open and letting it happen. But again, I'm definitely strumming sometimes the D string and some of the other string, and it still sounds like, but it doesn't sound that exact on the record. That's what it is. If you transcribe it and write it down, it is, but it's not the whole picture, right? Continuous motion of the hand. So the next little bit is probably the hardest part, I think. So 3rd and 4th fingers are still where they are. 1st finger has now moved to the 2nd fret of the 4th string. I always just hear da da ga da da, and keeping my hand moving, and I'm thinking about da da ga da da. So this is 3rd finger, then 2nd finger is going underneath the 1st finger, 2nd fret of the 3rd string, and then lifting off. And I try and get a vibrato when I put that 2nd finger down. It's a little bit tricky. I wouldn't start with that. Start with just putting the finger in, but because I've kind of trained the muscles up to do that, every time I put that 2nd finger down, it wants to add a vibrato. I wouldn't start with that, but it does make it sound more like the record because you're kind of adding some of those beautiful electric guitar parts over the top of it. So rhythmically, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 1, and 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, and 2, 3, 4. Down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, down. Again, dun, 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 dun. It's still just going down and up, over and over here. This is one of those points where trying to do the count and going 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 1, and 2, 3, 4 is kind of helpful, but I find it easier to just think like do 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 do, like imagine what the record sounds like in my musical imagination. And if my hand is moving here and my finger knows that it's going to go do 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 do, I'm trying to just make my hands do what my musical imagination remembers. And that's sometimes easier than doing all the counting thing. Counting thing's really helpful. I think that you should learn that. You should be able to do it, but musical imagination is always going to rock a little bit more. So what happens there with this is that section is repeated around. So it does this part of the 8th fret. Will you stop this noise? I'm trying to get some rest. Now it's this second part here again. Exactly the same. Back up to the 8th fret. And then we're into that next section. I guess it's the chorus, the what's that, the paranoid android overdubbed part. So again, now we're starting with that same grip. We're playing it slightly differently now. So 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, Same deal here with the hand moving consistently though. That's the key thing. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and... So the key thing, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and... Really good exercise just of itself. 1, 2, thinner string, second string, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down. You definitely want to work on that before anything else. Okay, make sure you can do that. The learning to pick accurately like that's really, really beneficial just for all guitar playing, not just this song, but obviously important for if you want to play this tune. What's that? Beautiful D minor over an F. So now first finger is moving to the first fret on the thicker string. It's muting the fifth string. You've got the open D, and then second finger is going the second fret of the third string. So 1, mute, open, second, third, open. And the pattern's the same. Then you got to change to an E7 while leaving little finger down. Okay, just a regular E, but little finger staying down the third fret of the second string. Makes it an E7. So you got this G minor, D minor over F, to E7, back to G minor, back to D minor over F, back to E, and it stays there. And then it actually just repeats through that whole thing. So you have another verse, when I am king, you'll be fast, I think, first against the wall. Anyway, I think I was singing something different. But sorry, Tom, if I got the words wrong. It repeats for that second verse exactly the same as before. Then there's another what's there section. This and then we get into where it starts to get a little bit interesting on acoustic guitar. Obviously, the original recording is a full production, lots and lots of beautiful guitar playing, really interesting rhythms. There's just loads of beautiful things going on. I've just kind of simplified it as one acoustic guitar part, like I was playing it at an open mic or playing it on my own. I wanted to do the tune. Obviously, it is missing some of the key elements there, but I'm going to show you what, my little arrangement of it, which is, I'm hoping, pretty much what Tom was playing, but maybe he'll let me know one day if I get it even slightly right. Key thing here before we get into the fingering again is this hand. Okay, it wants to move consistently. So down, down, up, down, up, 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 down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, down, up, down. I can't say it at the same time. I'll go through and explain it in a little bit more detail. The key thing is to keep the hand moving. We're starting third finger on the fifth fret of the sixth string. And we're going 5, 5, 5, 3 on the fifth string, and then back to the root note, the A. Fourth fret on the thicker string, 3, 5 on the fifth string. One E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 and 1 and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 and... If you find the 16th note count a little bit tricky, it is a little easier to think 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. That might make it a little bit simpler to get your head around the strumming as well. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Little variation there the second time. Playing the fourth fret on the thicker string, then 5 to 3 flick off. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. I think the 4 and is actually just muted hits. You can kind of slightly hear some of the notes, and I'm playing them more as the root note, but I think the original recording is a little bit more muted than that. But these are details that if you want, you can add those details in, but you can also play it with those notes and no one's probably going to notice or care. So again, one line time. 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Slightly fluffy at that last time, but I'm sure you'll forgive me. And then we go into a bit that's even trickier. If you thought that bit was tricky, next bit's even worse. Now it's moving into 7/4. If we're doing this kind of double time counting thing, and you kind of have to play it with the thumb over to play the chords as well, otherwise it's very difficult to get the right embellishments. So the first chord, it's a C, thumb playing the 8th fret, fingers 1, 2 and 3 in 10, 9 and 8 on strings 4, 3 and 2, and this little finger's going down here on the 10th fret of the 3rd string. Down, down, up, and this little finger goes down that last up. Okay, so there's C, sus. Now we're going to an A6, A flat 6. Thumb is on the 4th fret, 3rd finger on the 6th fret of the 4th string, 2nd finger, 5th fret of the 3rd string, little finger on the F, which is the 6th fret of the 2nd string. That's the same note that you hammered. This same note. Took me a while to figure out. I'm pretty sure this is the way it's played anyway. I could be wrong. I do it by ear, so it's that's what it sounds like to me. So. And then to a B flat where we've still got that F on the top. And 7, trying to count in 7 for you, so nice and slowly. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 1. I keep counting it 4 and 3, which is often how I count 7. Rather than trying to count all of the way 7, I'll count a bar of 4 and then a bar of 3. So that seems to be the only way I'm able to do it, so hope that's okay for you. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And then just at the end is C, B, B flat, A flat, down, up, 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, it's changing to 4/4 just for that little section. Again, 3, 4. That's likely to take you a little bit of practice. The key thing here, again, is the hand moving consistently. I do feel the 7 with a bit of a jolt when it's how I feel an odd time like that is. So just having that, yeah, I really jolt it. It's the only way that I feel like I can cop the groove correctly there, especially in something like 7. And this, it does feel, it's got that kind of angularness and the craziness of the other guitar parts all kind of combining together. It's a beautiful part. So it does that a couple of times, and then the last... it goes to an F chord and it lets it hang, and then we're into that next section. So the chords in this are so beautiful. So it's a C minor, G with a B bass. Okay, so this is C minor. Hopefully, if you're playing this song, you probably know a C minor by now. 3rd fret root 5th string. And it's G with a B bass. I think this is the grip that he's played, but there's a few other options as well, but I think it's this one. 1st finger in the 2nd fret of the 5th string, mute, open, 3rd, 3rd. Then we're back to the way to these bar chords like this with the thumb over. This is a B flat major, so this bar chord you could play that way if you found it uncomfortable to do the thumb. Then A, then D minor, A, D minor, D minor with a B bass. I'm not sure if it's that, just little finger. I thought I heard that one time, this open G. I'm not really sure. As long as you play a D and then a D minor with a C bass, either just move little finger down to 8th fret of the 3rd string, or you could play it, refinger it like this, so D minor like that, so D minor proper with little finger on the C, or this, let the open G ring out, it's not a big deal. Then to B flat, F over A, so this is thumb playing the note A, the 5th fret on the thicker string, 3rd finger in the 7th fret of the 4th string, 1st finger 5th fret on the 3rd string, and 2nd finger down on the root note, which is the F on the 6th fret of the 2nd string. It's essentially this kind of C shape, but with the A bass, F/A, F with an A bass. G minor, so now 1st finger is barring 3rd fret strings 2 and 3, 3rd finger 5th fret on the 4th string with the bass note, to F, to E, to A, 2, 3, again, so C minor, G with a B bass, B flat, to A, to D minor, to A, to D minor with a C bass, whichever way you want, B flat, to F with an A bass, G minor, to F, to E, minor to G with a B bass, B flat to A, then D minor to A, D minor with a C bass, B flat to F with an A bass, to G minor to an F chord, E is next up, maybe E7, A, maybe A7 sus4 you could add in to the C minor. Very weird transition, just to warn you if you're singing, when you go from that A major to the C minor, it's like, whoa, it's a very radical key change at that point, so be prepared with the voice to hear that C minor before you follow it along. It continues around that chord progression for the rain down thing from a great height, and then it goes through that a few times, and then there's this other vocal that's kind of spoken over the top of that continued backing vocal, and then it goes back into the craziness of the riffs, and the 7/8 section, which is, as far as the guitar part is concerned, is exactly the same. It's just got that beautiful electric guitar, manic, crazy stuff going on. I haven't worked it out yet, but I'm fully intending to, because it's just such beautiful part playing that this song, it is a tricky song, which is why I haven't really approached it before. But it was one where I was like, no, I'd really love to be able to try and play that and sing it. So I've worked on that. Now I think I need to tackle the electric guitar parts myself. And when I have, I'll be sure to share it on with you. So this is like the most unconventional ever outro. I've just realized that the drive on my main camera has run out. I forgot to format the drive beforehand, so I'm really hoping that I could cut from the close-up to this thing, but probably there might be some bits where I'm talking to camera and instead it's going to be just the close-up of the hands. Well, this will explain it. The key thing with this tune is to try and keep that hand moving when you're strumming. That is the thing that will enable you to play the song. It's much more important to have that kind of vibe going on than it is trying to get everything really right and then losing the emotive kind of part of the music. So, learn it exactly as you can first of all and practice that up, but then when you go to perform it, try and forget all of that stuff and don't get hung up on picking the right strings or whatever. It's not really a big deal at all if those things go slightly wrong, as long as you're tapping into that bigger thing than just getting the notes right. Yeah, excuse this kind of weird thing. You can see all of the rubbish on my floor and my coffee stuff over there. Anyway, yeah, hope you enjoyed this lesson. Please subscribe to my channel if you dig what I do. And remember, there's loads more lessons over on the website and all of the technical stuff. If you want to learn more about picking better or learning the chords or the harmony theory and all that stuff, you'll find it over there. Have a fantastic day and hope you enjoyed this tune. See you for more very soon. Bye-bye.